So good afternoon everyone. I am going to show you how I make my sheep tallow and tea tree bar today. So I make the swirls throughout the tea tree bar. So this is 100% sheep tallow. I will write down in the description field all of the ingredients exactly and the measurements and weights and measures of the recipe. So this tea tree bar has proven itself very popular in recent times, such that I'm actually running out, and so I need to make some of this soap, not just for the video, but actually by necessity to fulfill orders. So my tea tree botanicals are actually from northern New South Wales, where tea tree is native. It's difficult for me to get these botanicals, so I have a precious amount left and I need to source more soon. So I was thinking of actually making the soap with a block colour of tea tree botanicals rather than the swirl, but I think the swirls are a bit different, and they're kind of, each bar is unique in that sense. I mean, each bar is unique anyway, but the swirls just add that bit of difference. So I'll show you how I make it from beginning to end. This is the sheep fat that I am melting on a double boiler. So it's the sheep fat that is triple rendered, and as you can see, I've got a double boiler on my gas stove, and it's just melting gently. So I'll probably turn the heat off in a little while and let it melt with the remaining heat. So I'm going to make the tallow and tea tree soap now. This is the melted tallow, and then this is the caustic soda and water. So I'm going to combine the two, and then before I pour it into this mould, now this mould isn't the mould that I prepared with the baking paper, it's just a silica mould. I don't have many of these, but I just thought it's easier today for me to use this silica mould. So I'll put that in view so you can see it when I pour. Okay, so I've got the whisk and the spatula here, just make sure that's fully melted. So the fat is at 38 degrees Celsius and the caustic soda is at 28 degrees Celsius. So what I'm going to do is just pour the caustic soda in now. Someone's pointing to the caustic soda. Joker. So just using the whisk to whisk the caustic soda and fat together. So I've usually found that with the tallow, it traces quite quickly. So I don't use the stick blender. I use a whisk and a spatula. And the reason for that is, and I realise I don't have the tea tree oil, so I just have to quickly get that. So that's 29 grams. I've just got that in a cup there on the side. So continue to mix this. Now this is starting to trace, even though the mixture is not very hot. Okay, so I'm going to put the tea tree oil in now. That's 29 grams of tea tree oil. You can use any oil, any essential oil, depending on the dermal limit. For soap, it's usually safe to use about 10%. Or, no, that's incorrect. It's usually safe to use about 30 grams per kilo. So this is just under a kilo of oil. Okay, so that's getting to a point that I'm almost happy to put it in the mould now. Just make sure that it's fully mixed. I've got the tea tree botanicals that I'm going to put in a small portion of it and mix it and then pour it into the mould. And we'll do the swirl effect. Okay, so for the tea tree, so this is almost ready. I'm going to pour, it is tracing. So I'm going to pour some of this into this glass jug here. Just enough to mix with the amount of tea tree that I have. Okay, and then I'll just pour that tea tree in there. We're going to mix that very quickly because it will thicken. Now I do move quickly with this one, just a little bit more in there, and then it's time for the mould. So shift that across, pour this into the mould now. Okay, just get that all out. So this is a sheep tallow and tea tree. The tea tree smells absolutely amazing. Get all that out. Okay, now I want to do the swirls. So what I will do is I will pour this from a height into this mould. It's a bit gluggy because it has traced quickly. That's okay. We will adjust and still be able to do the swirls. So make sure I get all that precious tea tree out. Then the remainder of this we're going to scoop out. Okay, so we have all of that out. Just going to neaten the mould a little bit, push that into the mould like so, and then I'm going to do the swirl. So I'm just going to give it a tap just to even it out. Now the swirl, some people have swirl tools. I just have an adjusted coat hanger, and so you simply just go like this, swirl the botanicals into the tea tree. That just creates a swirl effect. Okay, then I get all of it out, and then just I'm just going to smooth the top. Now with this particular soap, I only do a small batch because of the volatility of the tallow and the tea tree together. So this is actually becoming a bestseller for me, which means that I'm going to have to optimize making more than one batch at a time. But it's just because it is, yeah, so volatile and kind of tricky to make. I'm sure there are people out there who may be able to do a better job, but I find that with this level of tea tree and this sheep tallow, that's the way that it is. So I'm going to give it a tap again, and then we're going to cover it, and we'll leave that for 24 hours potentially, but I will check it along the way. So you would have seen a bubble come out then, just here. Okay, she's fast asleep. So we'll come back. I'm going to put a cover on that and let it go to sleep, and then we'll come back in about 24 hours and see how she's going. Hi everyone, I'm back. So this soap is now ready to cut. This is the tea tree and tallow soap. I'm going to just take it out of its mould. So let's do that. So it has been, how many hours has it been? It's been 7 hours. Yeah, 7 hours since it was poured. And so it's in this silica mold. So it's popping out okay. Hopefully I won't damage it as I take it out. Because it's sheep tallow and a little bit soft, I'm just going to pop it out from the base like so and try and pull it off, because I feel like if I peel it back I might destroy some of it. And with the tallow I don't want to, and this particular soap I don't want to yeah, be too rough with it. There we go. You can see it's just a little bit soft, but I feel like if I don't cut it now it will become too difficult to cut. So remember, this is a swirl soap, so we will see the silk swirls throughout as we cut this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in that because it may be too wet. But let's try. I'm going to measure the 3 centimeters. Okay. So I've decided to cut it with a knife or with this blade actually. Okay, it's very soft, but that is quite all right. And this is the TeaTree and Tallow soap. So it's a bit soft, but that's okay. I'll continue to cut it because the reason I'm cutting it now is because if I wait till the morning, so it's actually 10 p.m. If I wait till the morning, it may be too difficult to cut, and I don't want that. So as you can see, the swirls didn't go all the way down. That's quite all right. So I'm just going to show you how I kind of trim the soap. This is the next day, and you can see that because it was the soap was quite soft, there's some kind of imperfections. That's okay. I will kind of deal with that. But I do like to kind of handle my soap and just check each bar for the imperfections and how I can trim it. So this is me doing that. I actually really enjoy this process. Some people might find it tedious, but I kind of like it because it's something tangible, it's tactile. I'm making something with my hands, and I get to kind of look at each bar. Yeah, and I guess from a kind of just pride in the work that I do. I enjoy doing this and making sure every bar is as I like before it goes to market. So you can see this particular bar here. It's beautiful and clear in the sense that it's like a pure sheep tallow bar with the TeaTree through it. I mean, the TeaTree, you can see it kind of just stayed at the top. There's a little bit at the bottom, but that's fine. Every bar is different. Every bar is unique, much like people. That's how I like my bars. Non-toxic and unique. So I know that I enjoy trimming the bars, so I'm going to just continue to do that because I know that people enjoy watching it. Some people say to me that it's very relaxing just watching trim soap. And so all these little bits I will use as well, because again, the animal had to die to give it up its life for this product. And so I like to honor the animal all the way through. So also thank you to Box Gum Grazing for the beautiful animal fat. And just look at I find that sheep tallow is much whiter than the beef tallow when you render it and make it into soap, and it just becomes this beautiful opaque color. So I do a combination of the potato peeler and a sharp knife just to trim. might speed this up because I know that it can be a bit tedious. So I've finished just cleaning and trimming the soap, and what I've done with the leftover little bits on all of the utensils and within the bowl, etc., this time I have kind of made it into a ball, as you'll be able to see soon. Normally what I do is I save the little bits and then blend it and combine it with water to make it a quick liquid soap, or I put it in my laundry detergent, make laundry detergent out of it once it's cured. But this time I decided, because the soap is so delicious, I thought I'd like to make a ball with the leftover bits of soap. So I've seen some people actually sell soap as a ball like this, and this is a process that they must do. They must kind of, which is actually really good, because it means you're not wasting any. So that's what I've done this time, and it's made easier by these gloves. It's not kind of getting stuck all in my hands. And thus far, I've been quite hesitant to use gloves, because I've been looking for gloves that are actually biodegradable. I don't want to use, I don't want to use gloves that are just going into landfill that are plastic, because I'm all about being non-plastic and environmentally friendly, etc. So that's why I've chosen to wait until I've found a product that I like. So this is the ball. And that's with all the little bits of soap that have been on all the utensils, which actually is actually quite a lot when you think about it. So I will let this cure the same as I will these bars. So this Sheep Tallow soap is actually of really good quality. It's this beautiful white colour. So most of the fat that I get is from box gum grazing in Maringo, New South Wales. And this is a new soap. So what I'll do is I'll lay them down so you can see just the difference of each bar, how they're all unique, and just that opaque kind of really thick white soap. Oops. So it is still a bit soft. It's going to take a few weeks to cure. Yeah, I'm happy with how it came out. It was a bit, when I pulled it out of the mold, you would have seen it was quite soft. But if I had waited any longer, the soap would have kind of shaled and crumbled, which is not good. So there we have it.